Hey, welcome back. Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl has taken another significant step. The former captive is no longer being treated as an inpatient at Brooke Army Medical Center in Texas. He's been moved to outpatient care. He was held for 5 years, of course, by the Taliban after walking off his base. His release after the controversial prisoner swap has sparked a bitter debate. He's the seventh person to go through the Army's reintegration program. Ed Levendare joins me now with the latest. So he's still at the Army Medical Center, but transferred from inpatient to outpatient. What does that mean exactly?
Well, he's still in San Antonio at Fort Sam Houston in the Brooke Army Medical Center, where he's been for the last 10 days or so, and that will continue. And essentially, this is the next step in this process. And since he'd arrived from Germany to San Antonio, he'd been kept in this hospital-like room with no television set and that sort of thing. Very limited number of people who were around him. Now he's moved to another part of this base. And officials there aren't really describing these current living conditions, only to say that he's being exposed to more and more people, and that all of this is being done in the hopes of, getting him to talk about his experiences and slowly kind of reintegrating him and moving him back into everyday life.
So two things. Do we know, has the Army begun their investigation or begun to interview him about what occurred, not just in his captivity, but also in terms of how he left the base? And also, has his family seen him?
Well, we do know that the investigation is going on. Whether or not that includes Bo Bergdahl at this point, it doesn't appear that that's the case. I spoke with Army officials there in San Antonio today who said that he is still fully into the reintegration process, and that while that is going on, it doesn't sound like he would be interviewed or being part of the investigation that the Army is doing into his disappearance and whether or not he deserted his unit. And as far as his parents are concerned, it's interesting because up until the end of last week, we hadn't gotten any indication that he had spoken or wanted to speak with his parents just yet. But we asked about that today, and they've said all along that meeting with the family is an important part of the reintegration process. But Army officials in San Antonio and a spokesperson for the Bergdahl family will not say if that phone call or a meeting has taken place yet.
All right, Ed, appreciate it. Thanks very much.